welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be taking a look at the Aston Martin DB5 rolling in S-Class. So for the first thing we're going to do, we are going to go in and we are going to swap that engine to the 4.0 liter V8 engine. It is the second one from the end on the right. Then for the parts, we are going to put in Elite pretty much everything. So we have Elite Induction, Elite ECU, Elite Fuel System, Elite Exhaust, Elite Screw Supercharger, Charger, Elite Screw Supercharger, with the Sport Nitrous, the Elite Road Suspension, the Pro Brakes, the Elite Grip Tires, the Elite Clutch, the Sport 5-speed gearbox with the Elite Differential and Super Nitrous Grip and Drift. So for the handling, we are at 65% grip. Steering sensitivity is all the way up, downforce is in the middle, traction control is off, and our drift entry is brake tap. This will give us a top speed of 200 miles per hour. What seems to be a sort of low 3.3 second 0 to 60 with a quarter mile of 10.7, which isn't that bad. But the max torque of 842 and the horsepower of 948 is what make this a pretty fast machine. It does want to get up into the 190s fairly quickly in a straight line. So let us go race it and see if it translates from testing to racing. Alright, here we go. Let's try and get the launch here. Not a bad launch to get. It was pretty simple. And I am already pulling through these people, so really the launch wasn't as bad as I expected. And I am up into first already. Let's see how we get around this corner. I should have drifted it more than I did until I let off the gas. I let off the gas too soon in that drift. The one thing with this car is it doesn't handle 100% the best, but man, does it get some speed going quick. Which is somewhat, oh lord, see what I was talking about with the handling? It does get speed going pretty quickly though. Oh, he's behind, but he's enjoying it. I bet he is. So it does feel like it constantly wants to slide out on me. It doesn't ever really feel like it wants to turn quite how I want it to. When I start a turn, it feels like, hey, I'm going to slide into a drift even though you don't want me to. And then when I drift, it's like I'm going to go ahead and drift, but I'm either going to go too wide or too tight for your drift. So it's kind of a learning process to figure out how the car wants to handle and getting used to it. But we are up at the upper 130s coming through this dirt section and up over 140 now. And I'm glad that cop didn't get in the way, but I should have saved the burst because I went around that corner in kind of a not great way because of it. But there we go. That corner wasn't too bad. So that kind of makes up for it a little bit. And then we'll take this corner. And again, really not too bad coming around that one. Oh, it sounds like a cop got kind of close. How dare he try and arrest me? How dare he indeed. For this corner, I like to try and grip it as much as possible because you can get that beautiful 3-burst grip NOS right there. That AI car being in the way kind of helped a little bit, I'm not going to lie. But for a final time, I think we just did, what, 216 it looked like? Let's find out. What we get? 216.99, which is a really good time on this course. If I would have had the handling down a little bit better, like the feel for it, I think I probably could have shaved a couple seconds off of that and gotten it down to like 214, 213 maybe. But that's just learning how to handle the car a little bit better. So let's go do one more race and we'll see if it's any good in that one or not. All right. Getting the launch and away we go. And let's see here, we are already up into third place and I am closing in on second and first. Get out of my way, Chase. Get out my way. There we go. Now I am out into first as I should be, and we'll get around this corner and beautiful around that corner and right into speeding out of that corner. This is the straightaway where you will get up to your top speed, and in this car, as you can see, we have done it pretty quickly. So now I just have to hope for the best that I don't run into anything. And then I also have the what I call danger section coming up right here. I call it that because there's some curves and you're coming in at high speeds, and as you can see, it got loose there and it wanted to do some bad things, and it wanted to make me miss that checkpoint, but I wouldn't let it. So if you know the course pretty well, then you can pretty much be okay. It's just a matter of, can you correct mistakes that happen because of yourself or the car or the road, or, you know, stay mistake free, hopefully. I made some mistakes going through there. You know, I'm not gonna. Oh, you stupid cop. That is gonna mess up my final time, unfortunately. But I'm gonna assume that only added like 2 seconds because it made me lose speed the way it did. I know what time I'm shooting for. I'm shooting for under, or around, I should say, not under, but around 444. To be my time is what I'm shooting for. It is just a matter of getting there. So far, this race is going pretty well. It's just I let off the gas big time there because I knew if I tried to keep on the gas going through that corner, it was going to slide out on me in a way I didn't want. So I was trying to mitigate that from happening. With this car, letting off of the gas is a beautiful way to get around these corners very nicely. Some cars respond better to it than other cars do. This one is very much a let off the gas and you will get around the corner in the way you want type car. There are other cars out there where you can let off the gas and it's still not going to do what you want. So just, you know, be aware of what your car wants to do when you're driving it. So far, this is not the best handling car. I'm not gonna lie, I haven't lied about that at all during this video, but it's also not the worst. I have driven cars that handle way worse than this one. It's just, you know, getting used to how the car handles and getting the usage out of all that torque and horsepower that it has. For an S-Class car, its 0 to 60 isn't the greatest. It has a pretty decent quarter-mile speed, but that torque and horsepower gets you up to that top speed so quickly and nicely that it kind of mitigates the issues with the 0 to 60 in my mind. This was another one where I just let off the gas coming around because I knew if I didn't, that was going to be problematic. Yeah, so I'm really liking how the car feels for the most part. Like, that drift right there, it kind of started to drift a little bit more than I would have wanted it to. And then that one I just completely screwed up. That was 100% my fault going through there. It is interesting to me that these cop cars are actually so close to me. Because usually when you're out in front and you're just far away from the other racers, the cops are giving the other racers a hard time and pretty much leaving you alone, which is nice. There we go. That was a nice little grip turn coming out of there. That should give me the full 3 bar just the way I wanted. And I didn't have to get out of the gas too much for it. That was a little bit me and a little bit the car screwing up right there. But we are close to the end of the race. I don't think I'm going to get 444, but I think I should still be under 5 minutes if I don't screw up here. Like I said, if I don't screw up, that car just like gripped up and wanted to stick to the road. So I wasn't prepared for it, and that's what it did. But I did still finish the race in under 4 minutes. I'm sorry, 5 minutes. It was about 10 seconds slower than I would have wanted to finish it, because like I said, I was aiming for around 444. So I did it in 454 with 1 cop hit, and then that screw up in the end. I maybe could have done it in 449. So really not a bad car for S. It is not the best handling, as I've said multiple times. but the car itself isn't too bad. If I practiced with it a little bit more and got used to the quirks of how it handles, then I am sure I could shave time off on either of the races. But this is a car you need to learn so you can get those better times. This is not one of those hop into it and drive to the end and you've got it type cars. Like this one, you've got to get used to how it wants to handle. But it is a pretty good car, that all being said. It's up to you whether or not you want to buy it and build it. Depending on your driving style, it could win you some stuff or it could lose you some stuff. That's going to do it today. If you haven't already, please subscribe to the channel. Leave the comments on down below. Let me know what you think of this bad boy. Smash on the like button, and I will catch you in the next one.